a lot of health. Almost like I'm horribly, horribly over-leveled compared to what I should be at this point in the game. Who knew getting random items would sometimes be good and you repeatedly get those +5 level items? It would make the game incredibly easy compared to where it should be. What's the whole legendary thing? It's like RNG has just been favoring me recently. I don't know what to believe anymore. There's some way of finding the truth. I know. Way of getting at the truth, Dio. Huh? Dimensional Scream! Use Dimensional Scream, Dio! Touch this frozen water. Who knows, you may see something. Yeah, this random waterfall in the middle of nowhere. I think it's a key point relevant to the plot. So happen to stumble upon it, and will all the secrets will be revealed in this exact spot? Maybe if you could touch anywhere else in the world, and been floating all along, we would have learned the secrets much sooner. But no, you have to be so above everything, floating around, not using your ability. This random spot will be very, very helpful. Okay, got a good old Lucario. Break his bricks. Or hers. I don't object. Everybody can get their bricks broken. Wow, look at that, Dio. Ooh, really is a world of darkness. It does look, in its eerie darkness, at least a little bit pretty. I like stars twinkling in the night sky, looking down over the landscape. I wonder what those light sources are. Are they the Pokemon that remain behind, cities, villages, hopes and dreams? Regardless, it's a nice picture. Though a little bit of color would certainly spruce up the place a bit. I'm no interior designer, I don't judge. We're certainly seeing higher or stronger looking Pokemon now. I don't know why I failed to go. Even paying attention. There we go. Miracle chest. Certainly some chests I've seen that seem like miracles, but not one of them. The amusing fireplace. Sends memes, that's why it's so amusing. I have to wake everyone up. Oh, you know, let them sleep in peace. You wake me up in the middle of the night all the bloody time. You wake the enemy Pokemon up in the middle of the night all the bloody time. You can't just let people sleep in peace. What do you have against a good night's rest? None shall be forgiven. None. Not least of all, you. Who's that? Who are you? You ask of us? Name is Magneton. Honestly, one thing I will give this randomizer, it's using our instead of my. Makes sense considering it's a Magneton, which is a group of 3 Pokemon. A very interesting randomization we got here. We are the manifestation of the fusion of spirits. 108 of them. I don't know about that. Might be one of those people who doesn't know how to count. But like 1, 2, 108. I count 3 of you combined together, not 108. Theo. Yes, I know what Puzzle said. Puzzle's right. Things are very tough now, but we have to be strong. All right, now let's go. Catch up to Puzzle. Theo. Have to get back to our world. Or why not? The world kind of sucks, but I mean we can rule over it as kings if we take out a couple of Pokemon. So maybe it's not so bad after all. Perpetual darkness. Don't mind the night. I can certainly deal with it. A creature of the night like Batman or anything, but only a Furt and a Moltres are standing in our way of total world domination, so a thought. Just a thought. Ooh, think I'd come alone. What? Now, Master Furt. It turned pitch black. That's the sound a ferret makes. It also has those weird eyes. Don't ask questions. Yep. That's... He's cosplaying. It's a Furt cosplaying a Dialga. fine. Don't worry about it. Hey, Plusle! Look, we made it home. Back to our world. Say our. It's basically your world at this point, because we've established at this point in time, I'm from the future. The only one that is originally supposed to be here is you, and maybe this body that I've inhabited. If I got isekai'd as opposed to just simply time traveling like Plusle did. Hard to say, but when it comes to time travel, rules simply stop applying. Down here. Lived here before I joined the guild, so go ahead and go in. Actually, a pretty awesome little house. This is much cooler than the guild. I mean, it's a little bit structurally unsound, but a really nice sea view, sound of the wave, if you don't mind that, a sea breeze. The air conditioning, you don't really have to worry about. You're kind of stuck to the seasons. And if it's raining, you might get a little wet. But overall, this is an awesome, awesome little nook. I would like to have a house like this. Well, maybe not a house. I'd like to actually wall it in. But if you could like glass over all that, get an incredible looking view, plus build your house into a cliffside, that's just dope. Go almost as fast as we could possibly be. That is as fast as we possibly be. Literally a single step. And this game just likes you sometimes, hit you with that perfect RNG. Other times it wants to hit you with a dark void, person across the map. They really should reveal themselves to the guild, because they'd have allies more than likely. And they'd also be able to say, hey, Moltres is a bad guy, so when Moltres inevitably reappears, they won't think he's the hero, say whatever they want, like, we help the bad guy escape. So go get your so-called friends to help you out, and stop kicking around like this. Even if he has to stay here as Plusle, we can still go out in the world and explain what's happening. Reason to be dumb here. But, again, children's game. Okay, let's go back to the sea. Seems like a good enough plan. It happens to be here at the beach, so... hopeless. Way of crossing the sea, I'm not coming up with it. Not like I'm Lord of the Seas or a water-type Pokemon who can swim and you can fly. That'd just be way too easy. However, we have to keep this narrative alive that we actually have trouble crossing the sea. I will continue spouting nonsense. Don't worry. I'm really good at coming up with nonsense. Must have had a bad dream or something. What? Actually, dude, just go to your room and get some rest. Wait a second. You're lying? You told us it's all true. Sure, I'm sure. Suffering from exhaustion. A good nap will fix it. Not it, Aerodactyl. Seriously, we're telling you the truth. Quite enough. So tell me, is there any part of your story that is even remotely plausible? A place called Elastic Cloud Force? I have intelligence here, and I've never heard of such a place. Only that wasn't true of every other place we've explored so far with the Time Gears. Almost like you're the head of intelligence, but you have very little of it. Don't come at me with that sort of sass and anger. We're telling a truthful story. If what I just said is true, Moltres did suddenly makes perfect sense. What? Wait a minute. What you think now? You actually now believing Edgar you are claiming? Yeah, believe us. Didn't really just go on a bad trip, I promise. Stayed away from all that sort of stuff that can cause hallucinations as of recent. It just so happens to not be any in the future, because we didn't want to. I believe him, thank you. See? He believes us. He knows I'm on the straight and narrow. My goodness, water that carried you all this way? What a long journey must have been. Ah, cold void, otherwise known as the hot spring. Maybe it's not a hot spring. Maybe it's an incredibly cold bath. So instead of being called the cold void, I would certainly suspect that. As relaxing when it's cold, but certainly will a shock to your systems and getting the old blood flowing. I'll take it. Wouldn't enjoy it though. I am not a fan of cold baths. Cold showers only in the off chance that you have just done a very strenuous and extensive physical activity on a warm day. The only time I like a cold shower. Every other time, I prefer mine blazing hot. Not make as progress as we hope. Podcast form, I think we started to have hope. How Plusle is doing. Gather the time gears, we need to hurry too. No point in getting all flustered. Simply because we know, as everyone knows in this world, you can only explore one location a day. Them the rules. So, of course, he's going to take at least 4 or 5 days to gather all the time gears. No need to rush, we have plenty of time, unless this randomizer decides to screw us with RNG. Certainly be fine. Time gears edible. Anything's edible if you're brave enough, and don't care about the consequences. So the answer to that question is yes, but I have a feeling only someone with a mouth the size of Edgar might be capable of doing it reasonably. Someone with a normal sized mouth like Dio here probably is going to have a harder time unless we can break the time gears, but I have a feeling might screw with time a little bit too much for it to be worth it, even if you were curious about what it tastes like. Or we get the munchies, and at night something seems to probably happen. Oh, it is at night. We're asleep. Good old Lapras sailing across the sea. Oh, sorry, the Wormadam sailing across the sea. My mistake. Must just need glasses or something, because that seemed very much to look like a Lapras. But, hey, being nearsighted sometimes makes things interesting.
Thanks for watching. You should watch another. Please.